Hey folks, quick disclaimer about Greasy Says, my new show about being a game developer for 15 years who's brown. Okay, Greasy Says contains explicit language, adult situations, and viewer discretion is strongly advised. Right? Greasy Says is supposed to be a comedic take on what it's like to be in the gaming industry from my perspective, but I'm not out here trying to make people feel uncomfortable just for the sake of it. So, to sum it up, I have a potty mouth. Don't let your kids listen to this shit. And kings and queens above 18 only. Let's try that. All right? Lay is...
Haha, let's get this party started.
High def with the pro.
Greasy Says.
Yeah. I can feel it coming on, yeah. I can feel it coming on, yeah. Yeah. I can feel it coming on, yeah. I can feel it coming on, yeah. I can feel it coming on. I can feel it coming on. I can feel it coming on. Can you feel it coming on? Yeah. What is this show even? What is this show about? What up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Greasy Says, a special episode of Greasy Says. This episode. Keep it down back there. I can feel it coming on, yeah. This episode of Greasy Says is a special episode. Like I mentioned back in episode 13. Go back, listen to it. That one was about, what was it about? It was about AI basically taking over our jobs. Back in that episode, I said I got a talk out of a Greasy Said episode. So yeah, I decided I would show you. The talk has already happened. It was a rousing success, as so far as everyone told me. It was super nice to me, and it might not have been a huge success, but they said it was a good success, so it was a big success. I'm gonna fill my brain with those kind of positive vibes and messages for my own sanity. But on this episode of Greasy Says, I'm gonna actually basically open the gates. I'm gonna show you behind the curtain of this talk that I wrote, and this is like a take of me rehearsing it live. Making mistakes, making edits in real time, so you can hear how a talk is created. It's not just like somebody has I don't know, some people might be that much of a genius that they can just like think of the shit on the fly and not rehearse anything. I'm not one of them motherfuckers. I'm sorry, I'm not. So I rehearsed the shit out of this talk. I wrote the whole thing. It feels kind of like a Greasy Says episode, except it's like more structured because it's a talk. Anyway, go check out the talk. It's being hosted as well, like the actual talk with all the Q&A afterwards. People asked a lot of really good questions. There was a lot of engagement. I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. Thank you to Ali Mack for hooking the whole thing up. She put the whole thing together. She was the one who... Oops, I just hit the microphone there. Are you okay? Sorry. Ali Mack, shout to @Ali Mack. Who hooked up the whole talk, who invited me, and who did all the work basically to get me through the door. So I appreciate you. And go show your love over at Boston Postmort. Where is it? Let me see. Hold up. Yeah. Check out bostonpostmortem.org. You spell postmortem POSTMORTEM as in Mary. Okay, bostonpostmortem.org. They'll probably have the talk up there at some point, but I'm just giving you a little bit of behind the scenes. And the audio quality on this one's on my show is gonna be a little better because I'm using my mic. I'm using my whole fucking setup here. The other one at the talk I was using Zoom, and Zoom has all of its issues with desyncing and all that kind of stuff. But it doesn't matter. Go check out Show Love to Boston Postmortem because they've shown me love. And go check out my talk on side hustles and not getting bored in the gaming industry. So without further ado, this is the rehearsal of the talk that I did. Enjoy. Oh, and don't forget that you can always hit me up on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook under Greasy Says. That's GreasySays. and on Spotify, Bandcamp, and Soundcloud under my artist name M-Cue. That's M-Cue. So without further ado, y'all, this is my talk on side hustles and how to not get bored. Enjoy. Let me know what you think. Script up. Here we go. Okay. Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for having me. Thank you to Alyssa for inviting me to come talk here. And thank you all for being here to listen to me talk for like half an hour about side hustles and lane switches. Should be fun. I hope to have fun, and I hope all of you have fun. So, if you don't know, right, let's cut right to it. Oh, also, if you're enjoying this talk and you're like, who is this guy? He's interesting. You could always jump on TikTok or Instagram and find me under Greasy Says. That's GreasySays. And I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Talk to me, listen to my podcast, whatever. Let's be friends. Okay, so here we go. Side hustles. If you don't know, side hustles are commonplace these days. Everyone is trying to squeeze a little extra money out of every hour of the day. In the massage therapy trade, people lovingly call themselves slashers. I'm a therapist slash sales associate, or I'm an actor slash maitre d slash botanist, or I'm a game developer slash touring guitarist slash competitive bowler. Whatever makes you happy, right? Side hustles can range anywhere from being an Uber driver to volunteering to teach kids how to code. Side hustle, I think, comes in two different flavors. One, they can be for monetary gain, a way to make a little extra cheddar. We all got to offset the cost of that insanely overpriced new car that we just had to have. Or if you're like me, you might be trying to offset the criminally expensive fees for Montessori school because the children are our future, apparently. I'm kidding. I mean, they are our future, our neck-tattooed future. You know what I mean? Side hustles bring in that extra paper when we need it. The other flavor of side hustles, and the flavor that I like, and the one I enjoy, are the ones that open me up to new opportunities or expand my capabilities in the career that I'm already in as a developer. Side hustles and game development can pay, but their value can be much greater than just more money in your wallet. Side hustles can lead to lane switches, and lane switches are very, very fun. Side hustles help us not be bored, because being bored is death. You ever been sitting at your machine at work, right? You're working, waiting for someone on your team to get back to you about a task you're in the middle of? Let's say you and your team is making a reactive music system, my personal favorite. You've made some temp pieces of music and you're ready to do a few tests in Engine, but the hooks you need in code aren't available yet. You reach out on a channel of your productivity app of choice to get the latest on the other parts of this task. It's 10 a.m. when you reach out, when you first send your first message. It's 10 a.m. You wait. You check your phone. 5 more people liked your selfie with your cat, which is sweet, right? Yeah, one of them was your mom, but hey, likes are likes, so fuck it. No responses yet, by the way. You jump on YouTube, you check out the latest whatever and whoever the hell cares, right? No response. It's lunchtime. Vegan taco wraps, anybody? No? Yeah? Come on. You're back from lunch now, okay? You're back. You had lunch with a few coworkers, and your coworker Frederick had this awesome idea about an app that turns Amazon history order data into procedurally generated videos of people crying and posts them to Amazon product reviews. It's a really brilliant idea. Frederick is clearly a visionary. Anyway, you get back from lunch, you get that response that you've been waiting on since 10 a.m. That Chad is doing the code for the music system, and he's out until tomorrow. You could get all fumey and whisper under your breath about having nothing to do and get back to watching Let's Plays or whatever. That's a totally valid option, but kind of a boring option, don't you think? And boredom is death. But I'm saying these moments, these bottlenecks, however small, these are prime moments for developing side hustles. Let me talk about myself for a second because I'm awesome. All right, my whole career in games has been about hustle. I was just out of college. I was broke as a joke. My job as an engineer in a couple recording studios was not for me, and I was desperate to get into games. I applied to be a sound designer. I applied and got denied, like everyone else, like every one of us has no doubt experienced. I felt sorry for myself for a while, but after getting bored of that, I decided I'm just gonna go in there. Through a series of fortunate events and one very kind lady who must have seen something in me, I got the chance for an interview for a QA position. Not what I wanted, right, originally, but fuck it, I'd hustle my way up. Being dope at QA made me a QA lead, but the whole time I was scratching at that audio gate, right? I would try to coincidentally drop by and hang with the audio team, the whole time talking shop and expressing my eagerness to learn. Some welcomed me, others were honestly kind of dicks. It didn't matter though, because I eventually got the chance to do some audio work on the side, helping out the audio team during a particularly crunchy period. Yeah, they were getting that extra work for free, granted, right? Because I'm a QA guy, they're getting free work out of me. But so what? I'm hustling here, you know what I'm saying? So I grind on this audio work while waiting for a new build to kick, or while waiting for directives from the dev team, or during late nights of crunch or whatever. Audio was my side hustle to my QA job. Word. Eventually, I got into the audio team and climbed the beanstalk to audio lead on a few titles. The college version of me would have been thrilled. We did it. We reached the top of the hill. The flag's ours. But the audio lead version of me had been doing this for a few years. The audio lead version of me was getting bored. And boredom is death. Anyway, there are a few ways that boredom has revealed itself to me over the years. Sometimes boredom can disguise itself, for real. And one day you kind of feel stuck in a rut, spinning wheels. You ever feel like that? There are a few red flags that I've noticed that usually mean I'm bored while I'm making games. Lack of a challenge. I like to be challenged. When I'm working on a project, if I'm not solving new problems or simply doing the same relatively simple task over and over, bored. Feeling pigeonholed too. This could tend to happen when you're a specialty dev. You know what I mean? Let's say you're really good at making trees, and several game companies hire you later on in their development to improve their forests, for example. You blink twice and you realize you've been making the same tree for 4 years. That could make you feel retroactively bored. Feeling a ceiling, number 3. This can happen when you reach a comfortable, expected career outcome. Like me, when I became an audio lead, you accomplished a career goal that you always wanted. You've reached the ceiling of your dreams. Now what? Number 4, not getting an acceptable raise. This may be a personal one, but if I'm not making more paper, I can sometimes feel bored. It may be coupled with the feeling of being unappreciated, right? Because if you valued me, you would pay me more. But I perceived that as boredom with my perceived value. But I processed that as boredom with my perceived value. Another thing that can cause boredom, waiting for coders. I mean, you need hooks. They're busy laying down groundwork. You end up waiting days, sometimes weeks for code support. No lie. Waiting for executives. This happens more in managerial work, right? When you're a lead and shit. But you can end up waiting forever for executives to be available, to give you feedback, to answer your emails, make a freaking decision.
You can sometimes never even get sometimes you never even get an I'll get back to you. Boring. Okay. Sometimes you never even get an I'll get back to you. That makes me feel bored. Let's run that again.
All right, so I could chill, I relax during this part and just read. Okay. Waiting for executives. This happens more in managerial work. How are we doing in the back here? Good. Okay. Wait, are we still on that too? Okay, great. Waiting for executives. This happens more in managerial work, right? But you can end up waiting forever for executives to be available, to give you feedback, to answer your emails, even to make a freaking decision, right? Sometimes you never even get like an I'll get back to you email. And that makes me feel bored when that happens to me. When your background YouTube is more interesting than the job you're doing, right? Serious fucking red flag. If your new obsession with heavy duty farming equipment, YouTube channels, is more interesting than building the UI for the storefront, we have a problem. And then finally, we work on single games. As developers, we work on games, one game, for years at a time. This is just a reality in game development. It takes years to make a game of considerable size. A lot can change in a person in 2 years. Your interests change. The way you feel about your team changes. The way you feel about your career changes. And there's a typo right there. Let me fix that. You can go into a project with all the vigor and enthusiasm of a college graduate and come out on the other end vowing to never make another fucking brick texture again. You know what I'm saying? I've thankfully noticed these red flags and side hustled myself into a lane switch. I've jumped disciplines quite a few times in my career. While working on the audio team, I became a voice actor, side hustling as a rapper. And one day, doing some temp VO to help out the narrative team, 4 games later, I'm the voice of the franchise and my own character. You know what I'm saying? While working on as a camera editor, we used to do the cameras. I used to do the cameras for like edit all the shots together. I became a mocap actor by volunteering to be a background character in that game. Because I'm so dope, I kept getting invited back, eventually starring as several main characters in the franchise. And even most recently as a hyperactive humanoid cat thing for a game that isn't even out yet. But it's my best mocap work that I've ever done. While I was bored developing repetitive DLC for I formed a game dev hip hop collective called Oxytocin with fellow game devs, releasing an album and performing several sold out shows around Boston. Side hustle. I side hustled my way into being a level designer by working on prototypes that focused on event patterns derived from MIDI. So the MIDI, I make a MIDI file, and that is what drives the gameplay. That led to a game where the music drove the enemy spawns, attacks, attack patterns, and pace of the level. Double lane switch bonus, because I'm a level designer and I'm making a game that requires audio to work. You know what I'm saying? That experience led me to design a mini game for beats called, I think. I mean, I think that one wasn't actually that good. I wasn't really proud of that one. But whatever, at least I did it, Lane switch. Remember, I'm an audio guy. Outside of work, hold on, I gotta drink something, guys. This talking shit. I get really passionate, I get really loud and animated. You'll understand that as you get to know me. You know what I'm saying? Outside of work, I side hustled making music for commercials and nonprofits. All right, so I wrote this beautiful, heart-wrenching piece for this nonprofit out of Somerville. They didn't like it and asked me to write some hokey country song instead. I did, right? Because the client is always right. About a year later,
I submitted that rejected song to Akira Yamaoka, if you know, is a famous Japanese composer, for his Play for Japan album. He chose my song, that same rejected song, and I ended up meeting him and many other high-level composers, like the audio director of frickin' Blizzard and shit, at the Video Game Music Awards, and even performed on stage. The money from the album was used to fund relief efforts due to the Fukushima disaster. But all of this came out of a side hustle. This side hustle was the result of another side hustle. I'm not done. I side hustled my way into a creative lead role by working on several failed prototypes for a year or so. And deciding to consult for years undecided. I side hustled my way into a creative lead role by working on several failed prototypes for like a year or so, and I decided I'd consult on a VR prototype. I didn't know shit about being a CL, a creative lead, but I did it anyway. Turns out I'm pretty good at it, and I ended up leading the best-selling, best-reviewed VR game that has ever released. How's that for a lane switch? I mean, you know, I've been a QA dude. So, right, you know what I mean? I've been a QA dude, an audio dude, a composer, a level designer, a mediocre gameplay designer, a voiceover actor, a motion capture actor, even the creative lead of my own title. I'm proof that side hustles can lead to a lane switch. Lane switching can be incredibly rewarding. It gives us great insight into the way the industry works because we are involved in more parts of it. It emboldens us too, right? It gives us confidence. It keeps us from being bored because boredom, you know. So as we wrap here, let me offer you some ways on how you can start side hustling and maybe even get yourself a lane switch if that's something you're interested in. Find projects that interest you. Remember, you're trying not to be bored, so don't pick up the same shit you do every other day. You pick something that interests you. Take risks with your side hustle. No safety nets. Take risks. Be bold. Just because you're not qualified doesn't mean you're not qualified. I know that sounds silly, but like I said, I didn't think I could be a CL. I was not qualified to be a CL, but I did it and I shipped the game. So now I'm qualified because my credits say so. Big one that I've been wrestling with myself recently, and maybe if you're a more seasoned developer, you may agree with this, but don't be afraid to say no or bail on a side hustle if you get bored or if that side hustle is toxic. It's not worth it. And if you enjoy a side hustle, this one's really important. Write down why. Like, write it down in your phone. Write down why you enjoyed this side hustle. So you have those notes later if you're contemplating a lane switch. You can go back and be like, oh yeah, this is why I want to do a lane switch into this new career path. So side hustles and lane switching are something that I think I'll just keep doing forever. Maybe I'll be a movie director someday, I don't know. But I love looking over the fence into the places I've never been. I love getting uncomfortable and then conquering a challenge, or bailing if it's not for me, which in itself is a learning experience. Side hustles keep my interest peaked. They keep me young. It keeps me fresh. It builds character. At this point, it's not even about the money. It's about the passion. It's about the ride and the many roads ahead. It means that the ride never has to end. And I'll never be bored. Because boredom is death. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, I'm just doing my best. You know what I mean? Tip your waitress. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. You're too kind. It's all good. It's all good. Everybody have a seat.
Dun, 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 dun.
And there you have it. Special thank you to Alyssa. Did I already say this? I already said that part. She's cool. All right. Hardest thing when doing this talk was, first of all,
always turn off video, your own video, in every Zoom, every fucking Skype. Anytime you have a camera on you, once you've checked yourself and you know you look good or whatever, you know, boogers hanging out your fucking nose, you ain't looking like you just woke up, your shit is right, turn that shit off. Because it's so fucking distracting while you're looking at yourself at how stupid how stupid I look in the little screen while I'm talking. It's impossible to do. Also, we got video of the whole chat. The sync got fucked up, whatever. Things happen. But I was watching the stream, the recording of the stream, to see, okay, I gotta fucking, what's the term? There's like a musical term. It's what orchestrators do when they go through and they put all the time markers on a scene. They like scout the whole scene and how the music is gonna play. What the fuck is a word? I used to know this. I like knew this yesterday. What is going on with my brain? Is it too much of that medicate and meditate shit? I'm losing it. It'll come back to me, I swear. It'll come back. As soon as I don't think about it, it'll come back to me. Anyway, so I'm going through trying to get all these timestamps. Spot. I was trying to spot the scene. That is the technical term. Thank you. You see, as soon as you give up on your fucking dreams, like figuring out what to say, everything comes to you naturally. Anyway, so I'm spotting this whole stream, and there's a homie of mine who was at the talk, who was listening to the talk on Zoom. And he had his video on because he's a nice guy and he's not just, have his video off and eating snacks and no mic, no nothing, no interaction, no nothing. He's there, he's interacting and shit. But I couldn't take my eyes off of his reactions. Like, I wasn't even listening to myself anymore. And every time, I would try to make jokes, and if my joke didn't hit with him and I didn't see him laugh in the Zoom recording, I would feel bad. That sucks. I hate that my brain does that. Is that what comedians do? Like real comedians do? Do you look at each person's face in the crowd and you're just like, that motherfucker didn't laugh? That brings me down. Because I know comedians are notoriously self-deprecating, low self-esteem motherfuckers. That's why they're hilarious. But does each and every individual reaction to your jokes hit you? Because that must be fucking exhausting. My heart goes out to you if that's the way it really goes. I mean, eventually maybe you turn it off as a comedian and, you learn to ignore it. Maybe. Any comedians listening to this? Can you all tell me if when you're on stage doing stand-up and there's one person, do you see every single face in that crowd while you're performing, and are you gauging every single face? How do you deal with that? How do you switch that off? Crazy. Reach out to me, Greasy Says, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Anyway, so this episode is kind of odd because I didn't pick a key because it was about this talk. But I do have a very recent development. Hold on. I got a listener who I don't think I know. I don't know this person. Made a dank meme about me, bruh. Yeah. This person reached out on the Twitter. Where the fuck is it? There it is. The fucking Twitter. And what they do? God, I'm so stupid. Still don't know how to use social media, y'all. It's getting worse every day. Yeah, this listener said, just listen to the latest Greasy Says episode. AI is scary and all, right? No, wait, hold up. I did an episode, the last episode 13, was about AI versus plumbers, AI versus coders, and how AI is taking all the jobs in games and will eventually take all the jobs in games. I'm being very extreme about it. I'm taking it all the way to Armageddon levels, but I think AI is coming for a lot of people's jobs, straight up and down, especially in games. Anyway, so
this person listened and said, just listen to the latest Greasy Says episode. AI is scary and all, but, and then there's a picture of that skeleton sitting on the bench. Me waiting for this seagull story to come full circle about AI. Hilarious. So he died waiting, right? Go on my Twitter, M_CUE on Twitter, and you'll see it. Made a meme. What? That's crazy. I don't think I know this person. If I do know you, remind me who you are so I don't feel like an asshole. So I can feel like an asshole is what I should say. But that made me think I really did miss an opportunity there to tie seagulls and the seagull attack to AI and AI's attack on humanity. Because that's what that seagull did. It was very organized. It worked in the shadows until it knew that I was resting on my laurels, that my guard was down, and then he attacked my sandwich meat. AI is doing the same thing. It's just gathering force. It's in the sky, it's hovering, it's doing the solid snake thing, it's shimmying through ventilation shafts, figuring out how we work, how we think, and then it's gonna swoop in and take every single one of us fucking sandwich meat. I guarantee it. And I should have tied that in with the episode, but I didn't think of it in time. But Chad thought of it in time. So thank you, Chad, for writing in, and thank you for that meme. Did you make that yourself? I mean, I know it's not easy to make a meme. Did you make that specifically for my shit? Because if you did, I think that might be the first meme anyone has ever made about me ever. So that's cool. That's cool, Chad. Thank you. I just realized something, though. I can't do a meditation without a key because I got to do the music behind the key, and every meditation needs a little bit of music. Don't you agree? So let's pick a key right now. Hey, pick a key right now. Hey, pick a key. Yo, pick a key.
Stop pushing. Stop pushing. All right, Jesus Christ. Today's key is...
Do it like I'm just trying to make it up to you now.
Medicate and meditate.
Today, let us think about all of the things that we've achieved. So many times, life passes us by and we do so many things every day. Little achievements that we forget, we don't even think about. We fail to acknowledge. And when that demon inside, that hater within, comes sticking his stupid head up, it's a good idea to recall all the accomplishments you did before that fucker showed up. So today let's think of 3 achievements that we've done this week that we can be proud of. Doesn't have to be big, doesn't have to be major, it could be anything. I'll start. My first achievement for this week, I wrote a song that made someone really happy. It'll probably never be heard by more than 5 people. It'll probably never see the light of day. And and most likely, I only made one person happy with the effort I put into this song. But it was a thought, it was a gesture, and I had fun with it, and it made the person's day. Anytime I can make someone's day, I think that's kind of an achievement. 2, I spoke to a stranger. In these COVID times, it seems like only yesterday you'd be talking to strangers all the time. But with quarantine and with all of the social distancing and basically 2 years off due to COVID from social obligations, activities of the same nature, of the same magnitude, we find ourselves, I find myself, almost longing for stranger interactions. My second achievement for this week is talking to that random ass lady in the CVS about quinoa chips. 5-minute conversation about quinoa chips that spiraled into supply chain ramblings. But what an experience. What an achievement.
Thank you, CBS lady. And my third achievement for this week. I drank more water. How many of us wish that we drank more water? I know I do. I know I don't drink enough. I know I'm walking around half dehydrated. So this week I drank quite a bit more water. And I feel a lot better. And I'll take that as an achievement. Like I said, it doesn't have to be big. And drinking water is pretty fucking small. Takes all kinds, people. What did you achieve this week? Think about it. Take 5 seconds to just think about what you did. I promise you, you'll feel better on the other side.
I'm just trying to make it up to you now. I'm just trying to make it up to you now. Yeah, I'm just trying to make it up to you now. I'm just trying to make it up. Make it up. Make it up.
And that, as they say, is that on another episode of Greasy Says. We did it. We made it here. We made it through to the other side once again. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all your comments. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the dank memes. All that shit. Remember, you could reach out to me on Facebook. Who the fuck uses that? I do sometimes. TikTok. Who uses that? I do, even though I'm old. Instagram. Who uses that? Goddamn everybody. You can reach out to me on all those platforms under Greasy Says. That's GreasySays. Do I need to spell it anymore for y'all? Y'all understand how to spell Greasy Says, right? Even though I say it instead of greasy, I say greasy. But y'all know it's not with a Z, right? Okay. And also, listen to my music on Spotify. Listen to my music on Bandcamp and Soundcloud under the name M-Cue. That is M-C-U-E. I'll see y'all on the internets. Okay. Greasy people! Thanks for coming out. Like, subscribe, comment, give me feedback. Tell me to go fuck myself. And until next time, it's me, Lil Ol' Greasy, and I'm checking out with the room key. Laters.